Alright guys, here we are for another trailer reaction. Today we're reacting to the trailer for the live-action version of the Fullmetal Alchemist.
Anime bullshit time.
Yeah, so I actually liked Fullmetal Alchemist.
Have you seen it?
I've seen not in order, but
Okay.
my
You've
girlfriend
seen,
likes it.
quote unquote bits and pieces of Fullmetal Alchemist.
I've watched a couple episodes.
This excites me greatly. So I'm the anime guy, and you're the guy that doesn't like anime. You're the guy who likes
The
comic
thing I
books.
like about this is, like, you know, the guy being trapped in this, like, seemingly immortal set of armor. That's cool. Him being the younger brother is interesting.
Yes.
The older
you.
brother being like, he's like the alchemist, the magician or whatever of the group.
Well,
and he's like missing an arm and a leg,
Yes.
but they're like made of metal.
Yeah.
And he's like doing shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, so like the younger brother is like the giant suit of armor, and like the way his like childlike voice echoes through the like empty suit of armor is so badass. And yeah, it's this anachronistic universe where they have like replacement limbs that are metal, like in Star Wars, but like steam trains and like magic instead of like fancy stuff. No, yes, you must not have seen any of the like egregiously anime parts that made you cringe and go like, what the
there's
fuck?
some horrible bits,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. But no, like the premise was interesting enough, and I remember him I remember there being a bad guy that just kills everyone who uses magic or some bullshit and something.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Again, was not like I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I watched enough to go like, oh, I could be interested in this. I don't know how a live action one's gonna play.
I've seen like
I liked live action Death Note, the Japanese version though. So
yes, I know. I was gonna say we should. Now
and this is Japanese, right? This is not American.
As far as I know, it is.
Which means it'll probably be better.
I've only seen thumbnails. I'm not sure. Now, I like what I like about anime because it's a different like cultural thing and it's a different like offshoot of life or whatever, and there's no budgetary problems. There's no whatever.
Sure.
They can do crazy shit, and they always try to like explain it in some way. So there's one guy who like he wears special gloves where he snaps his fingers and like makes a spark. And he's using that to like throw fireballs basically.
Okay.
But his alchemy is to like gather the oxygen in the air into like pockets and then ignite them with like his gloves made of something called ignition cloth or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. Oh, I love it or whatever. And the guy killing everyone is using alchemy technically, but he's only using like the first step. Alchemy breaks things apart and puts them back together.
And he never puts them back.
And he just does step one to just like break them apart. And I'm like, oh, I love like the unnecessary level of explanation instead of just being like, it's magic. They're like, no, it's like equivalent exchange, and you must do this and must do that. Oh man,
yeah.
I watched most of the first series, and then they put out the whole first series again, but like better. That like follows the manga more and like is like it's like that Dragon Ball Z Kai thing where they like condensed it and like streamlined it and made it good or something, and I have to go back and watch that. But one of the last animes I watched before I grew up and stopped watching a lot of anime or whatever.
My girlfriend watches anime a lot, so often if I get to bed too late, she's already claimed the TV, and I'm
watching
stuck
some
watching some anime, and some better than others. We're watching something recently. It's like there are deaths, I believe, like you work for death, like you're a Grim Reaper or something.
Okay.
And some people can control the death power, and some people can turn into weapons that the death people can use. It's the weirdest,
What's the
stupid
name?
shit.
Tell me the name.
I don't know,
Find the name.
like Death Eater X. I don't know.
Oh.
Something Asian.
I don't know anymore. I'm kind of out of the loop. All the anime that I've liked, so like I like showed up and I watched all the best ones, and then I watched a bunch of bad ones, but then started to watch only the best ones again. Fullmetal Alchemist and like Death Note and a few other ones. Those are like the top tier like shit. So you've seen some of like the good shit.
I'm the guy that comes in and just asks questions repeatedly because anime routinely doesn't make sense.
Why does that guy shoot?
So I'm like, why is
doesn't
that?
he just shoot him?
And like in this one where there's some people that turn into weapons
I don't
and
know what
any
that could
weapon.
be.
This one guy has two, so it's a guy and two girls, and the two girls turn into weapons, and he particularly has them turn into guns, and he fires them with his pinkies instead of like. So he holds them upside down, like, and fires them like this. But I was like, why does he have what? They're gun people? Can they shoot themselves?
And she's
what
like,
do they do?
And she's like, babe, shut up, you're ruining it. And you're
So-
like, but what?
I can't understand at all what's happening. And then like later on, she's asleep. I'm still watching because the remote's like over there. And there's a thing where the guy leaves and the two gun people are there, and they have to fight these zombies. And the way they're keeping from getting bitten is one turns into a gun and like shoots, and the other one like kind of throws it and backs up, and that one turns into a person and catches the other one as she turns to a gun and shoots. And I'm like, oh, they can shoot themselves. themselves.
What you're describing, though, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about.
Oh, it's anime ridiculousness.
No, but like someone was like, okay, you know what I think would be cool is if the two gun people would switch back and forth or whatever the fuck. One of the things on the wall that I don't think's in the shot is from like Transformers, where there's the like a junkyard Transformer people, and they all turn into motorcycles. And when they knock a dude off the motorcycle, that guy as he's falling transforms into a motorcycle to like land on the wheels and like keep going. And the other motorcycle transforms, into a dude and like hops on it or whatever. So they're like trying to like knock them off, and they keep transforming to like right themselves like in air. And I was like, genius, that's the coolest thing ever. So like some like writer storyboarder was like, I have this cool idea. We have to get it into this show somehow. What are we gonna do? We need gun people. What do you mean? I don't care. We need gun people. Let's go. And they like go forward. I like love that so much.
It's not bad.
So live action, imaginings of this stuff have had mixed results in the past. Let's put it that way.
It's hard to make this kind of weird, impossible play with real people.
There you go.
And outfits alone is difficult. Then the actual practicalities of what things are happening, and to have a person say some of these lines.
It's similar to the superhero problem, but I think that the like Japanese produced Death Note came like the closest.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Both in accuracy and it's like subtitled and all the cultural stuff fits in. Like it wasn't too much of a crazy departure where you were like, I don't buy this anymore. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So we're hoping this will be in the same vein.
Yeah. Let's dive right in, shall we? A lot is happening.
A lot is happening.
That accompanied by the fact with subtitles makes it like
I stopped reading. I didn't give a fuck. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know how you feel about it. Let me get your thoughts as more of an outsider to like the series. Yeah.
So I recognize some characters from the things I've seen.
Yeah.
I believe there's that weird trans-polymorphed daughter-dog.
Yes,
thing
they showed the fucking dog. Yeah. Did you see that episode?
I did see that episode.
That's a fucking iconic hashtag icon episode.
I don't
awesome.
like the guy playing the main character.
Yeah.
I think he looks like a tool. And he's actually deleted the memory of the actual character from my head. I no longer can picture what he looks like.
Well, so here, I don't want to keep going.
I'll cut you off.
We'll talk about each thing separately as we let it loop on mute here. Oh God, I have Ed and Al mixed up. Ed lost his arm. I forgot who's who. Yeah, Ed. Ed is so. We'll talk about racism for a minute here.
Okay.
Some anime characters, I think it's a combination of the voice actor and how they're drawn. They like read as like white to me. And then some characters in anime who look exactly the same can read as like Asian people to me. So like some of the people in here, played by obviously it's like almost all Japanese actors I think are like Asian actors. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what that character looks like. But him, I think I was reading him as being like white. I think between the blonde hair and like his attitude and the way he would talk and like the voice actor. So it feels wrong to me too, and I don't like him, and I'm not connecting with him the way that I did with the animated character.
He looks too old too. Like he's a kid in the show.
He looks
isn't he like a 14-year-old?
Yeah, they're both.
This
like
kid
young.
looks like he's 28. Like it's too much.
He looks like the member of like a K-pop like band, like boy band. So it looks wrong to me. He's like scrawny and like, hey, don't call me short. He's like that dude, and this guy looks like not like that. This guy looks like guy liner and like whatever. It doesn't like fit for
already
me.
out taken out of it by that character. The suit of armor I think looks fine. Like that looks exactly like the armor from the cartoon.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It at times looks a little bit cartooned.
It looks
like
a little
it's not
CG-ish here and there, but it looks
certain scenes though it looks perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the difference is. I think just certain types of light they're not good at reflecting that and making it appear normal. Every character though seems like almost it all looks like a cosplay of the characters they should be, which I think is a problem for me. I don't know. A lot of things that play in the cartoons in real life just looks goofy to me.
I feel like a Star Wars fan who watches something because I kept like, ooh, they got that guy. Ooh, it's that in there. Ooh, that's him. Ooh, that's the thing with that. Ooh, and I kept being like that the whole time through. Like a lot of these things.
Is this a show or a movie? There's so much. There's so many characters.
That was going to be one of my things.
Packed in.
If this is a movie, some of those scenes are just going to have like the whole scene's going to be whatever we just saw because there's going to be no time to like develop these characters. But there are some some smaller like bit parts here. Like there's like the general dude that he like salutes at like one point. That guy looked great. Their like goofy mentor. I forget. I'm horrible with names to begin with, and I watched this like a while ago. But they have like a dude who's always showing people pictures of his daughter. That guy.
Yeah.
Who ends up the actor playing him looked great. Like the shapes of the faces and like how they like their mannerisms and stuff. I was like, oh shit, it is them or whatever. The homunculi people looked okay. Like enough where I was like, oh, like that's that person. They kind of like brought that person to life. And I'm not sure how they could have made that, them like better per se. So I can't be like, you fucked it up. Why didn't you do this? It's like that's what it looks like in real life, I guess. The lady with the fingers.
Yeah, all secondary anime characters from every anime kind of blend together in my head.
Secondary?
So, like, even the dude with the gloves, the blah, blah, like, where, like, they're not the main person, they're secondary characters. All those characters blend together where I'm like, is this the one where the guy looks at pretty girls and blood shoots out of his nose? Is that this show?
Every show is that one.
Is that every show?
That is every show.
I can't remember.
Is this the one where like the main character eats a lot and is like whatever? It's like yes, every show. Yeah, but the Hawkeye, the lieutenant with the gun and stuff looks good. Like everyone looked like serviceable or like better to me. Where I was like, okay, I can deal with that. Kind of like Death Note, where you're like, oh, is that like cop guy with the okay? And then like as you watch it, you go like, okay, yeah. This like works.
I don't have enough memory of the show to have any really things like that other than the main characters.
Yeah.
It's just something about it seems off, and like I don't think it's gonna be very good.
Okay. I have to thumbs this up. They did so much, and like some of the stuff there are things here that are barely in the anime, like in the intro with like them doing the transmutation. That I don't like remember that in the animated version looking like that. I think they like created things for this or something like that. I hope if it's a movie, it has to be.
I think I remember that part. Actually,
it has to be like parts.
That's my biggest concern.
So much
if this is one single movie and it's not 8 hours, how do you even have the transmutated girl thing? That's one episode. Like,
I know. That's
like how
upsetting.
do you? Why is that in the?
Yeah, the trailer we're watching kind of ends abruptly and doesn't have the little Netflix like of it, of it saying like original series or like movie or whatever. So I can't tell what this is. I'm excited about this. I feel like this could have been a lot worse, and a lot of these characters, just like seeing them like this, I go ooh and all that stuff.
That weird large baby villain,
Gluttony, yeah,
dude. They cast some crazy people. Like that guy looks great for whatever he is.
He looks weird in the anime too, and honestly, is kind of almost like a lame character to me, where it's like over the top and too much, and like. Had you described this trailer to me and I hadn't seen it, I would have had extreme concerns. I'm like, oh, her fingers grow? That probably looks horrible. Or like, oh, they have the suit a lot, and oh no, and like, oh this, and oh, I would have been like very concerned. But what I'm seeing is like, oh no, that's actually like okay. Like some of that works for me. This is all right.
The issue is any of the points of impact in a live action show. So
points of impact.
So picture the whole street turning into a tsunami of brick hitting your character.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Yeah.
In a cartoon, you're like, oh, yeah, he'll get a couple of hashtag lines on him and he'll be fine. He'll breathe a little dust, a mushroom or whatever.
Sideways mushroom.
But in real life, you're like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Okay. I'm going to treat it like an anime, only in live action or something like that. I'm interested to see this. I want to see what it might be doing differently or how it might be capturing what like what I've seen.
I can't say I'll ever watch it because... not being dubbed also is a huge negative. No, it's not. I guarantee it's not.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I think we have ourselves a split decision
We
here.
sure do.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let us know in those comments below what you think about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Did I question? I care about you. And did I question? I care about you.